Good morning. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. It's good to be back here on another edition of QTV this morning. That's my mobile phone making a sound like that. And it's a notification, showing me the This Morning program is on air. I mean, once you subscribe to QTV YouTube or on our Facebook platform, once we are on air, you will receive a notification telling you Mr. Mboj Lolly, is on air with Balde. So thank you very much, viewers. And to all our viewers from around the world, the likes of Banki in Spain, and of course, Mauro Camara in Brikama Jamisa, they all follow this program. And I have Lolly as my co-host. Lolly Abenyadi.
Mr. Balde.
What's going on?
Nothing much for Badarek, but alhamdulillah.
Today you change the outfit. I mean, week in, week out, you dress more in African, especially the wax. It looks good on you,
Yeah, sometimes, you have to try different attires.
Mixing and blending.
Exactly. So for the past days, especially when I'm supposed to appear on TV, I'll have to really check the outfit that really matches the television.
Absolutely.
Because there are attires that I cannot come with on TV. So alhamdulillah. Because today I have to be on This Morning, so I have to at least look
Absolutely, yes. That's fantastic. I mean, Mr. Momodu Mboj, I'm on a time like half time, I don't do.
Yeah.
Wow, week in, week out.
So what changed?
So they yangi do English, Angalevi.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just a phase. And you go through different phases and moods. Sometimes you're in the mood for this or in the mood for that. So, so many reasons why one may decide to do one thing or the other.
Mr. Mboj, I'm going to fancy it today.
Really?
Like, seriously. I'm the kuma wow, I'm a kid. That's a funny one police officer last. So at some point it was like, the malabole kid. Koku nono. Mana ko koku kan. Mine Mboj. Mula don't describe. Mana ko why Mboj do police. Mboj.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so you have so many fans out there, and always they send their regards. Like,
say it out loud.
Wow, Mr. Mboj Magisa. So you mado yobante Mboj. Finally, I am extending your greetings to Mr. Mboj. I appreciate that, I think. Yeah.
Cheers.
Why Mr. Mboj you're Lolly. Mr. Mboj maho upper fans. Mr. Mboj man mala upper fans. I'm going generation be. Yo oldies in your top. Understand? You not both the oldies and the younger generation. Man maho upper fans.
Balde.
Yanko may hide.
Legi dañu def survey.
I totally disagree.
Why do I expect Balde mo over my fans?
No, Mr. Mboj, you tamit.
No.
You expect that?
I'm a small fans they select exclusive. Balde he goes for popular sentiment. They have numbers on their side, but how much weight is there?
How much weight? It's not quantity, it's quality.
So
you are talking about quality here.
Quantity.
No, you got me on this one. Thank you. Yeah, so on the program, we'll take a look at the African code from the code and the newspaper review. And we will be talking to the Livestock Owners Association of the Gambia in Gecha as well. But first, let's deal with the African proverb. Nippers at the ready. This proverb...
Nippers at the ready?
Yeah.
Is that the proverb?
It doesn't start. That is the end.
No. What I did, I went straight to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? Caution is no cowardice, the soldier, and works with his neighbors at the ready.
Cowardice. Let's try cowardice. Yeah? Okay, that's it. Caution is no cowardice, the soldier, and works with his nippers at the ready.
It's more of it's testing a novel write-up. When you're reading a novel and you have to read the novel. Reading it, but you don't understand some of the wordings. There are some wordings that are that are heavier than other wordings. It's testing the same. It's sounding the same, Mr. Mboj.
You mean that sort of some expressions are more layered?
Absolutely.
Different understanding, different meanings, and possibly different applications. So what is so literary about this one?
So
I'm talking to
well, to be very honest, I don't even comprehend the layout of the proverb.
Okay, all right.
You understand? It's a bit complex. I mean, I would definitely like to hear from you.
All right.
Okay.
So what do you say, Lolly?
Yes. So going by the proverb, what I really understand is sometimes you need to be prepared. You understand? And being prepared doesn't mean you're weak or whatever. You're just being cautious of certain things. So nippers at the ready, the soldier ants. So I think that also means no matter what, it's still prepared. Don't go empty-handed. You're always in a position to be cautious about whatever is surrounding you. To my understanding, I think it has to do with preparedness, you know, yeah, and vigilance, yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
The nippers, that's the strong jaws, you know, the mandibles they call it of these soldier ants. So absolutely. So caution is not cowardice. You see, I'm sure you've been in this situation before, especially when we were kids. One would be cautious with your friends, but they will tell you, you're dangaragal.
Exactly.
See, that kind
wow.
of way, they're goading you on to do
certain
something.
Things.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So when you're being deliberative, thinking about a situation, you just don't want to jump in. You know, to me, no, even sometimes you'll say, no, not this one, you know. So some people might interpret that as being, being a coward.
Or whatever.
Absolutely. Just as with the soldier ant, you are always ready. Earlier on you said sometimes you already know. You are always ready. The soldier ant is always ready.
Always ready.
He's got it, because the strong jaws, that's to crush things. It's for defense and crushing things. So one is always alert, prepared for whatever
I just
eventuality.
Want to understand, nippers.
That's the jaw, the strong thing of a soldier ant. Yes, and you see it in other, I think crabs possibly have that.
Strong ones.
Pincers, that's very strong. They are pincer-like. That's it.
Are
to
they painful?
Prey.
Are they painful?
When they sort of pinch you, yes, they are painful.
They're painful.
Absolutely. They protect themselves with
that.
They
protect themselves with that.
Your nuclear weapons. Always have your nuclear weapons in sort of ready.
True.
So it's telling you to be prepared in every situation. There should be a contingency plan. There should be a secondary plan whenever you want to do something. You cannot
and think about situations properly.
Yeah.
You're not being a coward when you do so. You're being prudent. So here you have to balance courage and prudence. You know? So really it's just that balance.
Being cautious doesn't mean you're being weak also.
No,
it's just being prepared and being alerted, you know.
I can remember there was a time, this proverb reminds me, I was talking to one of my grandfathers in Basse Sabusire. He was narrating his ordeal when he first embarked on a hustle journey. Then you will hear people will tell you, I'm going for hustle. I'm going to hustle or something. You know, he explained a particular scenario. And I was like, so what happened? You ran away? He said to me, to run and be alive is better than to be brave. For you to stand the situation and die. And, you know, it makes sense.
Absolutely. You survive to fight another day. That's really the thing. So even in war, the tactical retreat, you're not running away, really. You're just going back to gather up sort of fresh energy, whatever, to attack. So sometimes you need that tactical retreat. You're not running away. You're not a coward. You're just being smart.
Sure.
You're just being smart.
If they take you, if they take you to a war front, I mean, to fight for a particular cause, you know, I imagine this sometimes. I mean, do you have to go and fight? Or at some point, you just relax at home, or you don't go to the battlefield? I mean,
if you sign up to be a soldier, you must. Otherwise, I don't know, desertion, you know the word desertion. So they might come for you for all sorts of reasons. If you sign up, that's what it is.
Just like yesterday when the Intake 39 were passing out, you know, they're sure those that believe in the Holy Quran swear by the Holy Quran, those that believe in the Bible swear by the Bible, that they're going to take these oaths, you know, and safeguard
defend their
nation.
nation.
So it's not like you just go there and wear that uniform, like you said, you can go to the battlefield and relax. No, because you from day one, you've swear to that.
Lolly, we have seen ministers, they swore on the Quran and the Bible,
means nothing.
but they amalgamated the whole situation.
No.
What do you
But
mean
it's
by
a
they
big thing.
amalgamated the whole situation? What do you mean by that?
Mr. Boj, do Bible.
No, probably.
No, I wouldn't.
No, Mr. Boj, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I understand my wordings are so heavy for you. You don't comprehend them.
No.
So, you know.
Explain,
you don't
Well,
need to
I
worry.
think when talking to Mbo, you should use the basic term.
No, to amalgamate,
Yeah?
I mean, it's a simple term to mix, I mean, to blend everything together.
So
I
what
mean,
have they been blending together?
corruption, I'm talking about corruption. It's mix and blend.
Mr. Mobile,
No, but he needs that.
All right.
Yeah, we need clarity. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on, Lolly.
Okay.
We have the Standards newspaper here, and it reads, Minister Sabali says opposition cannot beat Barrow. Experts, expects GDC to join in NPP.
Okay.
Well, I mean, GDC, if they want to join NPP, they are free. It's a free market.
Absolutely.
It's a free political landscape.
Yeah.
If they want to join the UDP too, it's free. You know, but for me, what I know, elections cannot be predictable. Sometimes it can be very disappointing. You know.
Isn't it interesting that they're all going in to join NPP? I wonder why.
Yeah. We all wonder why, Mr. Boj. Why are they all
God.
joining
Well,
forces?
you know, these politicians, that's Demba Sabele, right?
Yes,
Dr. Demba Sabele,
yeah,
the
Minister of Agriculture.
Well, yeah, you know, politicians.
And he
just
also
say
have a
whatever.
position in MPP. I think.
Aye.
Yeah, he's either the political advisor or whatever in MPP. So I think sometimes they just have, they just play their cards by, you know, coming up with sentiments like that. But at the end, it's all up to voters.
Well, we expect these kind of words from, you know, an NPP militant. I mean, next minute, you know, Almami Funding Tal can also say UDP and be victorious in 2026. So anything can happen, Mr. Boy. Why? Hamga setlunga ñun suñ politique bi dafa funny. We have a very funny politics here. You know, I mean, you can see how different opposition, you know, parties, different people holding bigger positions in the opposition, how they, I mean, send shots to each other, you know, and at the same time, you can see how, I mean, we keep politicking from the end of one election to another election. I mean, we spend our whole time talking about, you know, the coming elections. I mean, not long ago, a few years back, we just concluded an election in the Gambia, but still the political environment flow. Should that be the case?
Well, whether it should be or not, I do not know anything about that. All we know is that after 2016, you know, for a very long time, we were under the yoke of Jammeh. There was really no politics as such. But after 2016, when we were liberated, everybody was into politics, and add to it with the social media. So it's the noise. It seems loud, if you know what I mean. So that's really what it is. Look at the number of political parties we have. Unbelievable. So there is a lot of politics, and there's the platform to give it voice. So that's why it seems like it, you know, it's a never-ending cycle, isn't it? We're always talking about it. But again, the whole ecology has changed, has transformed. You have the freedom and you have the platform. So the noise is up.
Absolutely. And I think they're making the best use of that platform and, you know, by making
Nice. So why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? For a dynamic system, you need divergent views. You need divergent things within a system for it to be truly dynamic, isn't it?
I want us to table out this thing once and for all. Dr. Ismaila Cisse, I mean, talking to many people, they'll tell you this guy have lost his integrity in the public already. Modu Sabali, these are people that they've lost their integrity for many years, considering what they were saying and now what they are doing. Is it true that these people, their integrity doesn't matter anymore?
Well, I'm not so sure about that. That's a value judgment. That's a loaded thing to say. Possibly some people might think that, but you'll have others who wouldn't think that at all.
Sure.
So it just depends on how you look at the situation. Well, this is the nature of politics.
Politics, yeah.
Absolutely, people can jump around from one party to the next. But what's your agenda? What's this? What that? I do not know. It's just quite interesting that we have a lot of politicians now, but they never run for office. They're just being appointed to office. They call them the politicians that walk. You see, real politicians run. They run for office, but we have political walkers all over the place. So it would have been interesting.
But Mr. Mumulmboj, looking at it, you know, politics is a game. You know, you need to know how to play the game. You understand? You see, life itself, sometimes you need to know how to play your cards very well. I mean, to be where you want to be. Okay, fine. All right. Probably Modu Sabali was with the UDP. And, okay, he got his own target. He wanted to get somewhere. Maybe getting to the NPP. He must pass through UDP, then say a few things, then move to the UDP, probably. You know, it's a game. It depends on how people play it.
Game, yes, but in a certain sense it is. But to other people, politics is much more than a game. It's a vocation.
Okay.
Even to others, they will say it's a crusade. We lost that sense of politics around the time that we had independence. That was really what politics was about. It was a crusade. You know, now that we've gained independence, how do we develop our countries? The idealism was high. You know, it's still there. But afterwards, the experience of independence made us all sort of cynical. It all curdled. That idealism curdled into disappointment and even resentment in some areas. So it shouldn't be a game.
No.
It's just that we've turned it into one, but it's so serious. Look at our societies. Everybody wants to leave. It's unbelievable. Can you imagine? For me, I just can't process that bit. People just want to leave. Because, you know, we haven't been successful. It's been very difficult, and we are all disappointed now. And
so what do you think should be the way forward?
I do not know. What does it mean to be the way forward? Have a strong leader. This is quite interesting. Have a visionary, strong leader who would force things. If you leave us at our pace, change is happening, but it is so slow.
Sure.
There's what they call modernization theory. There's a certain idea that we've seen that when you have a strong leader with a vision and competence, they tend to make things happen in their societies. We've seen that. I think we're seeing something similar. Everybody talks about it in Rwanda, in Kagame. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if Kagame had just served 2 terms? What would Rwanda look like? He had it, you know, and you talking about Singapore. Lee Kuan Yew used to tell you that in order really to make that economic difference, maybe you don't need too much democracy. It's very controversial. This is very, very controversial. But he was also a strong leader. So strong leaders can force the issue. But first you have to go to war with your people, because your people do not see really how culpable they are.
True.
We are very collusive. We have all these habits, all this nastiness, and yet it's just easy for me to stay at home and say, oh, it's the politician. Oh, it's that. Just pointing fingers. Well, if you were to put me in that position, I'll be exactly the same. This is the problem with Africa, isn't it? I'll be in a position, you know, complaining about this, complaining about that. Just put me into power and say overnight.
That is it, because some of them were talking about it before they entered the system. Now they are in system, and there was.
Let me tell you my first disappointment. Was it in Uganda? Zambia? Kenneth Kaunda. Remember, was it in the 90s, early 90s? There was this young social worse.
Wow.
So this has been the experience, isn't it? What's going on in our heads? We are traumatized, isn't it? The colonial experience of you traumatized. We are behaving like colonialists amongst our own people. It's an extraordinary situation to be in. I just take from the people. I just take. It doesn't matter how much I have. It's never enough. You just keep on taking.
So the Commander-in-Chief of the Gambia Armed Forces graced Intake 39 graduation yesterday at the 22nd July Square, Makati Square. Lolly, you were there?
Yes, I was there.
How was the event?
Ooh, superb. It was really a memorable one, and I must commend the new intake, because they've really showcased what they've been going through for the past 6 months. According to their superiors, it was a 6 months intensive training. These guys really showcased how they fixed these weapons within seconds, dismantled everything, how they can attack an enemy, you know. So I was really amazed what I see with what I saw yesterday. And you have the president, you know, come in full gear, wearing the uniform, you know, so in solidarity that he also is the commander-in-chief, and he has to be in the forefront of that celebrations. People were wow, this is just amazing. Because at first when I saw the vehicle coming, I was looking around, where is the president? Everybody was saying, Barrow is around, he's around. I was still looking around until when I saw him in full, you know, I was like,
so
what?
you were fascinated with his outfit.
Oh, wow. I was like, wow.
So were you able to know the marks and model of guns they were dismantling and fixing? Were you able to check that? I mean,
no, from afar, I wasn't very comfortable. At first, I wanted to leave the environment because I feel I wasn't very safe, especially when they announced that they're gonna fire some rounds. I was like, oh God, where is the gate?
No, don't worry, they are rubber bullets.
Yeah, so they announced that, you know, they are safe, and you know, it's just like powder, so they're just gonna demonstrate that. So I was like, okay. Subhanallah, but the sound was really
so
terrifying.
Mr. Mamadou Mbodj, I mean, we have seen the coming of the ECOWAS forces in this country for the past 9 years. I mean, they've been here now, and many people thought, okay, our armed forces have been marginalized by this system, you know, because it was very difficult. I mean, let's be realistic here. You know, when former President Jammeh left, people did not have, I mean, many people didn't have confidence in the army, because they were thinking, okay, Jammeh loyalists are still in the army, and you know, the only way these people can be protected, or the president can be protected, is by bringing foreign securities to protect our nation. So this is what happened, and now we are seeing, at least it's coming again. The confidence is building, you know, as time goes on.
I have no idea whether the confidence is building or not. All that we've seen is that ECOMIG is still here. We were supposed to have security sector reform with the army. There have been studies. Is it downsizing, right sizing? They call it whatever they will. But from what we are seeing, you can't see any tangible movements to show you that we've done the kind of reforms that we need to do. So one really has no idea. So with this intake, you call it intake 39, there were 351 of them, you know, taken in. So this is it. What's going on? Why is it that the economic forces, they're still here? What are the security threats? So really one has no idea. We're just seeing these things, but we really have no idea what's going on. So whether they are losing our soldiers, whether they're losing morale, this is affecting their morale or not, I do not know. But we know that some years back, where they should have been defending the people, they ended up siding with power to abuse people. You see, sometimes you are called upon to be either on the side of justice or on the side of power. So they showed us that they were on the side of power. Even though today they want to make it as if it was just a few, the Jami people. But we all remember how people in uniform then really milked the system. They were just using it, abusing it for their own interests, their own needs and all of that. So we need to address these things. You're telling me about people taking the oath. Do you really mean it?
That is the question.
When you take the oath, that's between you and God. But all you need is just a politician or anybody to come and just pervert everything. Go and kill somebody. Go and do that.
No.
How can you go and do that?
You know, actually, when they were taking the oath, I was reflecting on some of these things that you just mentioned.
Of course.
And how powerful these oaths are. And you stood there and, you know, take some kind of instructions from somebody, forgetting that you stood in the presence of a whole nation, your family, loved ones, and everybody. You swear, and next minute you forgot it.
Absolutely, it's just about interest. In the end, we can say, proclaim all kinds of lofty morals and all of that, but in the end, our actions are really determined by our material interest. Never mind all that airy-fairy stuff that we say. What we say is one thing, what we do is quite another.
Oh, no.
It's just as simple as that.
Exactly. So Mario Mendy sentenced to life imprisonment for murder of Mariam Jau. One Mario Mendy, is it Lamen Kerewan? I read this story yesterday. She was sentenced, she was alleged before her sentencing that, you know, there was a murder and she's involved in that murder. And now in fact, she was sentenced to death. But, you know, I think it was overturned to life imprisonment, you know. So, I mean, it's really telling us now justice can be served anywhere. You know, once you are found wanting and you are guilty, I mean, the arm of justice can get to you.
Obviously. It's not just now. Well, this is it. The process, you know, has concluded, and this is what I've decided. So he's going to serve his term. It's just very simple. If you murder, you pay for it. There's really nothing else to it.
True.
Absolutely.
Very, very lucky that we don't have the death penalty. Well, we do, but you know what I mean, the moratorium, and we are not applying it really, we're not using it. So you go and serve life.
I think where Balde is driving at is before you linger at mile 2 for so many years before a verdict is, you know, being done or taken against you. But now, I think the National Assembly, especially the Select Committee on this, on justice or so, some time ago they were out to visit these places like Mile 2, Central Prison, and the one at Janjambure to see the inmates there, how they've been there, for how long have they been there, some of their cases, and I think recommendations were made. And now that you can see some of this process are being fast-tracked, now if you found one thing, you know, actually a sentence is being served whatever your
slow,
judgment is.
Slow
yes,
justice.
exactly.
I'm not sure how that has changed. It cannot change so radically. And people who spend so much time in remand, what they call remand, before you go to court.
Yeah.
Oh, everything is really very slow. They know that there's a problem.
They know that there is a problem. Yes.
So they'll try to sort it out.
Yes. Yeah. They're trying to sort it out now.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Momodumbo, for reviewing these stories with us. And, you know, probably we'll engage you next week. Otherwise, we won't.
But I think
Otherwise, we won't engage you.
But Balde, bull def lolo small boss nak.
Mr. Mboj, now if you want, you review the papers with us. If you don't want, Ade is back.
Hey.
Wow. So bugenga review paper. So Mr. Ade, thank you for coming back. Now, if Mr. Mboj wants, let him review. If you don't want, Mr. Ade is here.
Really?
He will review the documents with us.
No, we'll have to. Do get him.
All right, thank you. We'll take a short break. After the break, we'll be back.
Oryx Gas, the energy that brings us together.
Powered by Africa, Oryx Energies.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. We innovate, others follow.
Taking a break isn't about stopping. It's about recharging for the next stage. Welcome to our oasis.
Powered by Africa, Oryx Energies.
Running low on data? Need to stay connected without spending too much? Get 1 GB for just $50. Yes, only $50. Whether you're streaming videos, scrolling through social media, messaging friends, or catching up on the latest news, this offer has got you covered. At home, on the move, or just in need of a quick top-up, it's the perfect data deal for you. And the best part, it's valid for 2 full days. Don't miss out. Dial *303# and choose option 7 to grab your 1 GB data for just $50. It's affordable, reliable, just what you need. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
We are back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Now, if you're just tuning in, we are moving to the most talked about, festive season. That's the Tobaski. Tobaski is fast approaching Lolly.
Yes.
And it's like there is no activity in the town. Nobody is talking about it. I'm not seeing I'm not seeing anything.
Hey!
You know, it's almost 3 weeks to Tobaski or 2 weeks.
You think people are not talking about it?
Well, I'm not seeing any activity. I don't know. Mamad Hamada, I'm not haram amut.
Wow.
You know?
Guy, you what the wild?
Okay. So we have the Livestock Owners Association President, Ibrahima Jallow, with us in the studios. Mr. Jallow, ñu ngi la dalal si programme bi di la ne bismillah fii si QTV xam nañ ne comme at bi su demee ba tollu fii fokk ngeen ñëw si programme bi ñu waxtaan ndaxte yéen seen taawaay si réew mi.
ñëpp a leen soxla
am na njëriñ.
wallaay
waaw.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bande, di la nuyu itam, and then to nuyu itam all the staff of QTV. Di kontaan tam, they have the invitation to be here this morning. And so okay, Tobaski, people are not talking about it. Maybe QTV is not talking about it.
But
go now at authority levels, at entry points, at the markets, people are actually talking about it.
Okay.
And then I know it's almost less than 2 weeks now. But then actually the activities will start maybe perhaps next week, because it's a 10 days period. That's the official duration of the Tobaski. Well, already the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency at NALWA and other stakeholders are working very hard. But just at least we can have a very good, successful 2025 livestock show in the Gambia.
Okay, so we're here next week activities. This what starts. So bukan na ñoo xam activities. Part of that activities, lan what send to prospect for this year's farms, availability, costs, and everything.
When we talk about 2025 livestock show in the Gambia, officially the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency, in collaboration with NALWA and the Department of Livestock Services, we have what we call the livestock show period ground that start from on the first day of the month, that's the local month, to the day of the Tobaski. It's about 10 days officially. And then during this particular day, there will be a lot of monitorings and then a lot of, entrance of dealers from the Gambia and outside the Gambia also we like to come in. We are preparing very hard because I'm in a lot of consultative meetings with the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Trade, the Gambia Port Authority and other stakeholders. They are also involved in the entry or the settling down, because there are also tax collection done by the municipality councils. And then GRA why these are all issues we discuss them at high level, and almost everybody is prepared, so that in the next week to come we are expecting to see a lot of Gambians who went out to buy this animal, because the production of livestock the farm is a bit low.
Wow.
In the 70s, that time we have more animal. It was more than the number of people that time. But then now things we have revised. We have more humans population than the animal. The demand is higher. We need to go outside the Gambia because the production is low. A lot of Gambians, especially yesterday, there are a lot of Gambians who left yesterday night to go out to Payar and Misira, so that they will be able to interact with these sub-regional dealers. They were able to buy and come. By and large, we are also expect a lot of dealers we call them the transhuman herders dealers. They come in groups, and then Gambia livestock owners, we welcome those people, because because we are trying to make sure that we have more availability of rams.
Exactly.
Why sometimes availability do they make an issue there? Because every year, then they gain they visit abattoirs in Abako, Bekama and stuff. They get animals then they am there. But still, affordability they make a problem. The most of it are so engaging in you learn that you save about I'm gonna share up to the last day. So or it's still the fanica on a high side. So lulu nakalengo muna safarale.
Yesterday we have a consultative meeting, and then this were the farmers were there at the side of the production and then the marketing side and the processing. Just when we talk about the availability, that's the most important thing. You may have a money if the animals are not there. You may go out of the Gambia to go and search for this animal. But once we get the availability, it is there now. Then that's the time we think about the price. But here, I'm not expecting this year, 2025 Ramso, the price of animals to go down. Because yes, last year, by this time, the CFA was around $560 or $555. And right now we are speaking, so say the CFA is going $630 or $635. So the dealers that we are going, they are even struggling to get the CFA. And if they change the CFA now, they go to Senegal or any of this border country, they use that CFA to buy that animal. So once you buy that animal now, it's the CFA that is determining the price of that animal. You understand? So it's not actually the availability, but how much do you get that animal? Your transportation cost. And this is why stakeholders like immigration and other institutions, they are trying to beat down the price so that they will allow these farmers to come. Because if you have gone to Payar in the other part of Senegal and Misira, the largest we have a lot of, it's a sub-regional like a Lumo, Mandemla Buyagut, why it attracts a lot of people from Mali, Niger and other places. Because Senegal is Amut Haridor, so they have to go there. In fact, last time I went there, I met with the Senegalese authority. They are trying to make an arrangement so that you am jury barebira, because availability is their first concern, not about the price. Because then you just am hard be paranga dem si marché bi nga ñak am har. Why not if the animals are there, at the end of the day, these transhuman dealers also they'll take these animals back. You understand? So this can give some Gambian opportunity. If they are going back and there's a lot of stocks of animal in the country, automatically you have to come down. And this is why Senegal, they are always ahead of us. They work with the livestock farmers. They work even outside with other countries so that they can able to get more supply officially. The transportation will be easier, the movement, the transaction, everything will be done in a proper way. And we are also advocating the same. Because if we have those kind of animals coming with that number of animals, it could have been easier to give it to the dealers to sell it at a better price. While yesterday when I was even around Abuko, seeing those people coming with CFA, if you see the queue, how people are struggling to get this CFA, actually it is very hard. And once they get that CFA, they go and buy this animal, come back again, sell it to Dallas, change it back to sea. You know, it's a lot of things.
It's expensive. Why in Gambia, we have a lot of animal organizations. You know, they are trying to see, okay, how best to make sure these small ruminants are reared in this country. A lot of them. We've seen a lot of companies coming and sponsoring, these people. But, Mr. Jallo, to be very honest, Lee Mangisuma any effect on it. Because year in, year out, and then the animals see that share. So what do you think? Is it the Dalasi? Swing Dalasi be more born? Or is it that we are not committed very well?
I think it's a change of attitude. Both things can be there. But then, Mr. Bande, if you don't know the statistic of the number of animal produce and the number of animals coming to the country, so you may not see the impact. But if you are contacting the Gilma, and then they will be able to tell you now the production level have increased to a certain level. And then if you look at small ruminant, they are supporting about 60 schemes in this country. And then construction is still at a certain stage. The project have been here making noise for the past 4 years, but still production doesn't start in those centers. Okay, and there are some youths who are also been involved in this illegal migration, deported back, being supported by YEP and other people. Some of them are taking it very seriously, but some of them, how serious are they taking it? So this is where we talk about sustainability of a project. You don't wait project to help you. Like our parents, my parents, your parents, they have that in fashion. It's part of their culture. And this is their livelihood. Why if a project supports you, if the project fails, if you are not careful, then you are going to fail. So to us, if you know the Abuko Livestock Showground, for the past 3 years, the number of Gambians participating at the showground is increasing. There was a time it was going down. Wow. And
because, okay, it's a point, no. Suma conversation a guy am na ñuma wonne comme dañ ko dé bëgga def, but sometimes so démé pour apply for loan nga isi hari ni quadrilateral biñ dé tek sa kaw mo dé ta guy dé give up xaalis bi daf dé luñ la dé laajte pour nga mëna jot xaalis bobu nonu daf dé bari, so moo tax ñu bari dañ dé relax légui dañoo depend on outsiders si pour ñu assi lolu tamit daf dé bokka si lu tax xaar mu dé ser fini. So how many you aware of that?
I'm aware of that, and then this is the reason why when we talk about this quadrilateral issue, Nalwa, we went to a point we established our own credit union. And this year alone, it's a very small, very young credit union, but we are able to give our members nearly $10,000
each.
Yeah, at least has a group to go and fetch, because it's a young organization. And then this is where now we'll invite government. You understand? Because an organization like Nalwa, if you, for example, give us 50 million, 100 million, we could have taken upon ourselves to go out, make negotiation and come back. And then to tell you, those people that we supported, we see some of them selling around $13,000, $15,000. And in fact, they finished, they went back. But now if they come again, the time they were changing the CFA, it was less than 600. And now something have added there. You see again? So if they come for the next round, they may not be able to sell the animals for $15,000, $16,000. So these are all things that the national livestock owners, we are thinking, how best can we partner with people? So that at the end of the day, there is some money. And the interest that we are giving to our farmers is very low, at a very low price. And again, there is no quadrilateral. When you are a member of the organization by the market committee or by the district LOA or by the women wing, we can still able to give you. Now your organization will guarantee you, not where you go and bring your document or whatsoever. Because we know your membership, we know your potential, we can give you support based on that. But this is a bank, it's a project. They don't know who is Mr. Ibrahim Abalde. If you send a loan, definitely you need to show them something. At the end of the day, yatam denga mana fay halis bi.
Pepare tamit de wone ko maybe time ball and DJ preparations be. To basket that they hala jegelate torop. You would not be able to do much. So some suggest ne come at least to they say 3 months to Tobaski immediately bim si July like I think ne come sa organization bi one no muna jël ay jéego yoo xam ne di ngeen start preparations early boobu tamit pour yombal affaire si.
I'm going to in the Gambia, we have a certain attitude need to be changed. When this Tobaski 2025 have gone, even you have forget about it. You pack your clothes now, you concentrate on other things. People need to bring their mind together. That's where the farmer organization, hamga with the Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Trade, lulen tera talk new waktan. Know that this is a problem in the Gambia.
Wow.
But I say start the what can we do? You understand? Because I've been telling them, don't want to talk up to the last minute, let's start the whole meeting. It doesn't make anything.
No.
You understand? But why Mandama Fogne, especially Ministry of Trade, the national body like NALUA, and the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency could have sit down. By now, they could have gone to Niger, because most of these sub-African countries, we get our animal from Niger, because Niger, they have a lot of stock. In fact, Senegal, Mali, part of Mali get their stock from Niger. So why Purman, then you power tell on them, you talk, discuss with those people, and we could have ordered a lot of trucks coming here, and we could have sell animal at $10,000, $9,000. So it's all about preparation, because right now, we have a group, your Hamne, a society in the Gambia registered. They go to bank, get loan, take thousands of dollars, go get this animal. At the end of the day, they want profit. And they will not sympathize people, because you are there looking for money and making has a business.
And
this is why...
Wow.
Exactly. So the small ruminant production enhancement project. You know, funding, they got 26.81 million from the Islamic Development Bank. So you can see all these things are happening. We also have the Gambia Inclusive and Resilient Agriculture Value Chain Development, Giraffe. All those things, we have all of them here. Agriculture, Gambia Agriculture and Food Security Project. We have all these projects, you know, but the changes is still
the problem is not solved.
Yes, Mr. Bande, you know, when you look at, I'm not working at the Minister of Agriculture, but if you sometimes look at the magnitude of project that we have, and you look at the impact we have on the ground, sometimes you wonder. But I can speak on the side of the small ruminant project, because I'm part of the implementing partners. If you look at the small ruminant project, you know, we never have a livestock project in this country. All the projects we have been getting here, definitely it was more on rice and others. This is the first project that is specifically Mohammed is for livestock. And that was also advocated by us. I remember then the late Omar Jallo OJ, you know, came to our livestock show. We make that complaint, because I give a statement. You know, we are under the Minister of Agriculture. Why all the project coming is going on one side. And when the livestock farmers, because Slovakia agriculture is growing of crop and rearing of animals.
Absolutely.
Why this other side was left behind. And this is why me and you are suffering. You understand? Why not they came with a $26 million. But to make it short, I think the project have done something. It's different from other projects. In fact, the project finished, they have to extend it. And most of the contract that we are supposed to be done was not finished. So we also protest. You cannot finish the project when the contracts are not, it was not fair to the farmers. And I think they understand the language that we give them, and they are now extending to another one. By December, the project is going. But we benefit almost 28 boreholes of water, which are all functioning. You understand? And they are also vaccinating small ruminant almost twice in a year, which is another thing. And they build a lot of livestock market, which is a very good structure that our dealers were suffering. And they have done actually something. Our problem now, some of the contractors have an issue of the 50 scheme, 60 scheme that we have. And once those 60 schemes are operating and they are doing well, I think definitely in years to come, not now, next year or the following year, but maybe in the next 5-6 years, people will start to benefit. Okay, but in the other project, they have component. All the project that you are talking here, they may have a component of a poultry or a component of a small ruminant, and that will be very small. And here we are advocating government to us also to treat us and give us, a big project like roots. We're taking up almost $60-something million. So we want to move from 20 million and see definitely go maybe around $40 million. That could have changed the narrative of livestock. And to make it very clear to you, Mr. Bande, Nalua, we are doing very well because we know anything that comes for this country, Nekune is only Ibrahim Bande the benefit. She should also benefit. If the project can be given to you, rear this animal, and she can buy it at a cheap price. So it's for Gambian people. And this is why we don't allow people to just waste silly project like at the end of the day, nobody cares. You understand? You should take it very seriously. Up to now, we are importing rice in this country. And how many projects? Since you are going to school, they have been talking about Jahari
Absolutely, yes.
So what are people doing? Are we serious? As a nation?
It's a big question.
You understand? So the farmers need to change their attitude. The authority at certain level, implementing partners also need to know that we need to feed this country. Less than 2 million people. Still now we have to import rice.
We have to import
we
rice.
cannot have fish at the market. People are talking about livestock. But we are an organization that, we work very closely with the Gambia Livestock Marketing. Even the price of meat, if we want to adjust it, we have to sit as a committee, as stakeholder. The governors have to be there, local authorities. We have to invite Gilma, Way and Kare there. All these institutions have to be there so that you talk work time. Then we tell them the reason why. We don't just jump and say, yes, the price of meat have to go down. No. But if you go to the market today, you can buy a fish for $100. Tomorrow you buy it for $150.
Sure.
There is no control.
There is no control, yeah.
At Nalua, we are trying to be fair to the community, and we think that we are serving well, Mr. Balda.
Exactly. We think we are serving well. I mean, it's important. So, who are your partners, the Livestock Association? Who are the partners that you work with closely?
We have many partners. Even QTV are partners. Because here, we are, Nalua is a young organization, and I become the first president, though young. I was the first president to be elected in 2015. Then we have a lot of organization. People will go and knock the door, and government feel, yes, we cannot answer to all these farmers at the same time. Then we have a very big convergence in Jarasoma, and then all the districts in the Gambia we are represented. And then I was a PRO of a particular group that we call the anti-cattle rustling, fighting for cattle rustling in this country, working with the Gambia Police Force. Then I was identified to be the president, unopposed. And then it was conducted by the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency and the Department of Livestock Service. These are our two major partners. Also, but we work with the Ministry of Trade, because you're talking about marketing, and then Ministry of Local Government. That's our cattle tracks, our drinking point, because movement of animal is the local government authority. And we work with the Ministry of Interior for animal security, accident, and animal protection. So we have a lot of partners that we work with. And then we also have partners outside the Gambia, like Kofanabi. It's a sub-regional body that's more specifically on animal dealing and animal processing. And right now we are also linking with them because they are the one giving us information on the sub-Saharan African countries. This year, how are we going to get animals? Which lumo can we get it within the sub-region? And that's why Gambia, we are almost covered by Senegal. Usually our major markets are within Senegal. And this is why yesterday we have to tell our dealers, you have to take this way. It's a sub-regional body that Gambia is a member of. And they are also doing very well. In fact, they train some of our butchers and dealers, and sometimes we have this exchange basis with them. So it's a young body, but the body actually is doing a lot for the country, and working very closely with the Gambia government at many arms to make sure that the livestock farmers are also catered for, and they are also consideration. And definitely we see how best can we close that gap of livestock production.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim Jallow, for coming on QTV this morning. And I hope the status quo will change one day, and we won't need to go and import a lot of animals into our country. Probably we should be able to get it on our own, buy it on our own, and at the same time, or rear it on our own. I mean, I think that would definitely help this country. So thank you for coming, and we hope to engage you more in the future.
Thank you very much. Yes. And I use this opportunity at least to invite the youths of this country.
Why not?
Like, let us go for livestock production, even rice. I don't know why, when we talk about agriculture, people leave it at the old hand. Like me and you, during our weekends, holidays, we need to go to the farm, put our ideas in the field. We need to see what can we do at our village. Can we do production of livestock? Can we do crops? But if you go to the provinces, you can see that the gap is there. So Gambians, we prefer the urban area more than the rural area. And we must do agriculture. We must do livestock production. And this is why I'm encouraging you, especially those who are supported. Some of them are supported in one way or the other. They need to take this thing very seriously, Mr. Bande. You just know, with this country, when we take things very hard and very seriously, at the end of the day, we can change something. But we cannot be depending entirely on another country to supply us rice, supply us meat, egg, anything that we need to.
Yeah, and we have all it takes.
No, we need to change.
Ministry of Agriculture tamit try comme am na ñu buga but amuñ fuñ starté fii nii soo waxee agriculture yëpp doole la te su fekkee ne tam equipment yam fa I think ne ñu bëri especially ndaw yi dinañ venture into it because ñu ngi gis yeneen dëkk yi modernized machines yi xam nga comme copier seen rice project bi in fii nii Sapo ñu ngi use latest techniques yi machine yoo xam ne ñu ngi lii nii loo xam ne di nga si nekk ay hours di nga nekk for 30 minutes nga pare si te you can do bigger lands and xam nga within short period loolu yëpp ba pare xam nga léegi agriculture mu ngi modernize ba nga xam ne new techniques are coming up.
That's true.
So suñ liyee loolu yëpp ministry bi jàppale ñu tamit ñun ñëpp man sax damaa dem. Because man I like agriculture.
Absolutely.
waaye dëgg war a sega si living bit
it's all boiled back to the issue of attitudinal change. You know, to me, when you talk about attitudinal change, Mr. Bande, it's not at one side. It's the side of the local community itself. It's at the side of the government, especially those implementing activity. You know, there's a lot of millions coming. Are they properly implemented? If properly implemented, are they properly sustained? True. You understand? They are for the Gambian people.
Thank you, Mr. Java. Thank you very much. This is all we have for this segment. And, you know, I wish, I mean, things change soon for everybody in this country. Yeah, so we'll take a short break. After the break, the program is going to continue.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. We innovate, others follow.
Taking a break isn't about stopping, it's about recharging for the next stage. Welcome to our oasis.
Powered by Africa, Oris Energies.
Running low on data? Need to stay connected without spending too much? Get 1 GB for just $50. Yes, only $50. Whether you're streaming videos, scrolling through social media, messaging friends, or catching up on the latest news, this offer has got you covered. At home, on the move, or just in need of a quick top-up, it's the perfect data deal for you. And the best part, it's valid for 2 full days. Don't miss out. Dial *303# and choose option 7 to grab your 1 GB data for just $50. It's affordable, reliable, just what you need. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Oryx Service. Top teamwork for top performance.
Powered by Africa, Oris Energies.
Kiwmoni arti webi nafitora gol no yawi te non kadi no moƴƴi Kiwmoni a wawa wadde piiji ɗin fow kala ko wonɗa wattu kala a wawa hendade mbuuɗi maɗin e o Kiwmoni app kesong a wawa nattinde mbuuɗi ma ɗum yaltina soda credit soda kiw paba soda ko falaɗa te non kadi wawa hen yoɓude himɓe e ko heewi ina wawi kadi nuldude Kiwmoni yoɓa bilji maɗin te non kadi hendoɗa mbuuɗi ko yaasi nulda himɓe.
We are back. You are watching QTV this morning, and I am Ibrahim Balde. On this platform, I'm with Loli M. Kamara.
Loli M. Kamara.
Borom Janjambure Kankurang Festival.
Wow.
You know, why be on? I will be there, inshallah.
Mr. Balde, you.
It's in January, right?
January.
January, touch.
Invitation of Bule
Mama January, then you're Janjambure. Island Auto.
Kankurang Festival.
Yeah, so let's move on. To the last segment of this program.
Of course.
We have, you know,
Mariama Jobate, you her natural secret.
Exactly.
Turning passion into product.
Turning passion into product. So what she does is, she produces locally made products. The likes of soap, I can see body cream, you know, a lot of stuff. Mariama, it's good to have you on QTV this morning. Let's start with this.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
What I do is something very unique, I can say. It has to deal with my passion, and I think it's a calling. Because now if you look at, when people say agriculture, people only think of livestock or vegetable production or rice or the like. What we do value addition. Because I've worked as an agricultural extension agent, and I've seen firsthand how post-harvest losses affects agriculture. So what I do is, we take those produce that nobody can sell, because there are times, like for example, tomato season, you have too many tomatoes in the market. Not everybody can sell it. So what we do, we take them and add value. We turn it into soap. We turn it into skincare products, body creams. And these products are eco-friendly, they're effective, and they can sell more compared to that one pot of tomato that you have, selling it for $50. You can turn it into soap and sell 1 bar of soap for $200. And that container can give you about 100 bars. So we add value. At the same time, Tamit, it's linked to our culture as Gambians. As Gambian youth, we think very Western. Our forefathers used to make traditional soaps. And these soaps were so good for our skins and for our environment. So I take it upon myself to go back, but with a modern twist. So what we do, we train women, youth, and children. From the ages of, from the grades from grade 1 to grade 6, they're now creating their own body creams. They're creating their own traditional soaps, laundry soaps, bleach, detergents, and everything. And it's not that we don't have the capability to do it here. I think it's because people are forgetting the old ways. But what Her Natural Secret does, we are the mirror of the past, yet the doorway to the future for Gambian cosmetics and environment at large.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is very interesting. You've said something that is really interesting, like turning passion.
Yes.
So it's passion that really drives you to get to this stage. And looking at the post-harvest loss, you try to create an idea which is really amazing. At the end, people can benefit, and you know there's income generated as well.
Of course.
So how were you able to do this? Did you gain any training as to how you do these products? Because you need to measure things. I can see you've been measuring things, especially soap. I think there need to be some ingredients which, you know,
That's true.
So how do you do that?
If you look at my background, I studied agriculture and environmental science at the Gambia College.
Okay.
And I'm also furthering at the University of the Gambia. Also, I did some courses on formulation. Because in everything that you do, I also have a chemistry background.
Okay.
So everything that you do, although they are organic materials, but if you put them under a microscope, they all have compounds and elements. And once you mix them together, you create something totally different.
Sure.
So with that knowledge that I have, I train even old women formulation. Once they understand numbers, it becomes a lot easier for them. So before we do anything, we first calculate. After calculating, we weigh, then create the product accordingly. And also, I'm a NACA accredited trainer for horticulture, food processing, and poultry because of my agricultural background.
Okay.
Yes. So this is where I got the knowledge to.
All right. How long have you been into this?
Okay, it started quite young. I was just 18 years old. That was back in 2019. It started as a passion. I was still at the college at the time. I was saying, okay, a lot of people are doing food processing. Food processing is good, but our skin is the largest organ of our body. It also needs food to eat. And why don't we take this new approach towards it? Because people are looking for sustainability. And this marries two of them together. It marries your skin, about three things. It marries your skin, the country's economy, and the environment. Because I've trained so many women now and children, they've started doing their own businesses on their own. So empowerment is one of them. So since 2018, I've started, and then gradually I'm growing, learning along the way. And for now, I say alhamdulillah, although we do still need support because it's new in the Gambia, and I would love for more people to get to know about what we do.
Exactly, because I want to ask, okay, after all of these things are done, where is the market? And how do you, distribute these things? Because for the first time, I'm hearing something like this. I've never come across the show.
Of course.
So how do you do your distributions, the market linkages?
Okay, for market linkages, I could say we normally go through trade fairs, and then most of the people that even use this are foreigners, like the people, outside people during tourism season. There are times when I even label the product and just put it. They just read it and take it. This is because they value what we have more than the people here. So mainly I also focus only on training. So the distribution side is still lacking, mainly because I can say my attention is a bit divided because I'm going to school at the same time handling the business. It becomes a bit too much for one person to bear, but I'll be done by this December, and then we're still rebranding, and hopefully we'll get there when the support is right.
All right. Do you create specific product for different skin type?
Yes.
And how do you do that?
Okay, when it comes to formulation, we know that there are different types of skin, and different types of skin require different types of formulas. So I've studied formulation, and when people come to me, first thing I do, I examine their skin. If at all, sometimes seeing them topically cannot actually give you the correct diagnosis, you advise them to go see a dermatologist. So what we formulators do, we take recommendations for products from dermatologists. Like dermatologists can tell you, okay, niacinamide is good for blemishes. So we, the formulators, we look at the recommended percentage of niacinamide that is suitable for her skin type. Then we use that recommended percentage, calculate it, turn it into a cream, facial cleanser, just to solve the issue of that person's skin. When somebody comes to me with sensitive skin type, I get to know that, okay, some products like salicylic acid is good for the face to remove the pimples, but it might be a bit too harsh for her skin. So I have to opt for another alternative, maybe like kojic acid. So if you don't have that knowledge, that background on how to calculate and how to notice this person's skin type, it becomes very difficult. That's where we step in. So my agricultural background is really helpful because we've been doing that in the labs a lot when it comes to formulation. And the further knowledge that I did, studied in Formula Botanica as an online formulation organization. So it really helps a lot.
Wow.
Yes.
Also, I think all awareness around these things is very important.
Most
because legi dang gis ñu bari ñu ngi defar xamuloo ban mooy bu baax bi ak ban mooy bu bon bi léegi su fekkee you're doing something and you've gone to learn about it and you're still doing it xam nga I think you need to create more awareness about this. People need to understand first before we go into it, because man if I happen to meet with them on the streets and they were like, I'm selling this, so I'll be like, oh excuse me, I don't use it because I don't know and I'm scared of using it.
I know.
Yeah, but if like the ways you're talking to me now, and I get to understand deeper, then I'll be like, oh, I'll look for it anywhere it is. I think awareness also is very important for people actually to come around and get these things.
I get that a lot. Many, like my trainees, when they come first, they think they just come and start mixing. I tell them, no, bring your book, bring your pen, download the notes, let's start with the basics. I teach them simple formulation first. Anything you do, any product that you make, from cosmetics to food to medicine, it all has a formula that one needs to learn. So when they see the mathematics, they'll be like, I did not come here to study maths. I did not know that we have to do maths and basic chemistry before we can create a product. I tell them that this is because people just get up, especially when you go to the TikTok right now. We have some formulators here. They're really good formulators here in the country, whereby we do link. But I think, yes, the awareness is lacking, because a lot of people think anybody selling Gambian skincare products is not good. Because Kuneka can just get up and then just start mixing. It's sad when I see.
You see
it's crazy.
Well, I used to buy these organic products.
Yeah,
understand that.
I get it.
And a bottle cost $1,500.
I know.
The money get this is small, but $1,500 is no small money.
They don't formulate it well.
What they do must is no harm that exactly.
Yeah, well, karité is good.
Wow.
For us, what we use these traditional African herbs, our food that we have in agriculture, to preserve our identities as Gambians, but giving it that modern twist of your knowledge in chemistry and formulation. This is why whenever you put it down, the outsiders just love it. They just take it and go. Because you're selling an identity. You're selling Gambia as a whole. Well, I think because of the negative reviews people have been getting of anybody can just come and start mixing. And that's the reason why some of us formulators have been hiding in the back. But we've been working on a standard for formulation with Gambian Standards Bureau for cosmetics and detergents, like the things that we do. So it's yet to be finalized, but whatever I do and I train my students on is based on that. That standard. So my trainees are very meticulous. They're just like me. So before they start anything, they have their formulation book. They record, they have their scales, they have their gloves, because they know that's the right way to do it. We just don't get up and start mixing. But we will try. Hopefully, we'll be trying to make a cooperation for soap makers here in the Gambia, hopefully by December. So correct formulators like myself, and there are few of them here that do it right.
So let's talk about the role of the community.
Yes.
When it comes to your business, what role do you think the community can play in supporting?
The community can play a massive role, because the people that I even target are the community itself. Because if you cannot minus women, you cannot minus youth, you cannot minus children. I know people might say that children have a particular capability they start at, but the potential that children have in repeating a cycle, it's very important. So the community can help me in many ways by supporting, buying the product, bringing children to learn more, they themselves learning more, coming to the trainings, because it benefits a lot. What I love to hear is I train a person, and I've been getting a lot of testimonies. I'm selling now. My children now know how to make this soap. Mariam, I am now supplying so and so. It gives me so much pride and joy that we still have that traditional heritage within us, but we're trying to make it more modern, and we're benefiting from it.
Okay.
Yes.
So is the training cost attached, or?
Yes, there's cost attached to it.
Okay.
Mainly because one thing I believe, if you tell someone for free, they don't actually value. They don't value. Okay. And it took me years to gather this knowledge. And whenever they come, they pay, but what they get from it,
fair enough.
It's forever.
It's fair enough. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Just finally, and are you aware of YEP? Because YEP is also trying to, empower businesses like.
I will try.
I think you
I'm calling upon any organization. Currently, we're having a first graduation at the Abuko Primary School, where I do the training this Saturday. So we're calling on as many organizations that can just come and help. It's a great motive. It's helped a lot. Yeah.
Okay. For the young people involved in businesses.
I mean, it's Mariam. Mariam, miss, you married?
Not yet.
Hey.
Is somebody asking?
I have space for second wife. Huh?
No.
I have space for Mamad. Nala yoni
So
kiri Mariam.
disqualified. Hey.
Wow, Mamad is ever ready.
So we also patronize,
Thank you.
inshallah.
No problem,
We'll be
no
in
problem.
touch, and we'll also try to patronize the
No
business.
problem. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much
Wish
for
you all the
coming.
best.
We hope we will engage you more in the future.
I would
Inshallah.
love that.
Yeah, so viewers, this is all we have for this week. Lolly,
Yes.
thank you very much.
I hope I'm
for-
not also given a red card.
No, you will be here next week,
You
inshallah.
need me here next week?
Yes,
Okay.
until then, enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.